Yo, what's going on, guys? Year 3 of what to expect from the Miami Heat in the 2022 to 2023 season. Before we start today's video, I want to hear 3 things from you guys in the comments. Who do you think, besides Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, actually, Bam can be good. Besides Jimmy Butler, who will be the X factor? Will it be, Bam? Will Bam take his game to another level? Will Kyle Lowry, look more like his Raptor self? Will Tyler Hero really take the next step and look like, the Eastern Conference version of Devin Booker? And then, of course, the rest of the roster: Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson. I think Marcus Garrett, who's on a two-way, could surprise some people, but there's plenty of guys to talk on this roster. Let's go through it. I want to hear your thoughts there. Second question, what will their record be and how far will they make it? I think this is a top 4 seed at the very least. I think they could be the number 1 seed again. And let's talk about the roster that they have. Bam Adebayo, Jamari Bouye out of San Francisco, Jimmy Butler, Jamal Cain out of Oakland, Darius Days on a two-way from LSU, Dwayne Dedman from USC, Marcus Garrett from Kansas, Udonis Haslem, Tyler Hero, Haywood Highsmith from Wheeling Jesuit, Nikola Jovic from Serbia. He played for KK Mega BMAX. He could be a guy that supposedly Nikola Jovic, Nikola Jovic, Caleb Martin, and I believe Omer Yurtseven are going to help the loss of PJ Tucker. Kyle Lowry, Caleb Martin, Victor Oladipo, Duncan Robinson, Orlando Robinson from Fresno State, Drew Smith, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, and Omer Yurtseven is the roster currently. And with the guys that are competing for two-way spots, not two ways, but roster spots, because Jamari Bouye, Jamal Cain, you would argue Orlando Robinson, Drew Smith are all competing for roster spots, as the team's currently at 8, 11, 14, 17, 18. So they have 2 guys on two ways. Those guys are safe, so they need to cut 3 guys. And the 3 guys I think they'll probably cut are Jamal Cain, Drew Smith, and I don't know. I really want Orlando Robinson to make the team, but it's probably going to be between Orlando Robinson and Jamari Bouye for the last roster spot. Jamari Bouye, great scorer from San Francisco. Orlando Robinson, big man, kind of has concrete feet, but seems like he could be a rim protector. Also seems like he has the ability to shoot some 3-pointers. So tell me down below, who do you think out of the training camp battles will make the roster? Now let's talk about the biggest question that The Athletic poses. How is Kyle Lowry? There are questions facing this team, but the one about Kyle Lowry is the one that will be answered during camp. He's 36. Was not in the prime condition last season, and was also dealing with a personal issue throughout the entire campaign. In the playoffs, Kyle Lowry hurt his hamstring and was never the same. He rededicated himself to conditioning this offseason, and we'll see what he looks like. Bigger picture, when are the Heat going to make a big trade, and for whom? It's likely a question for later on. And you're wondering, why would the Heat need to make a deal? And the reason why I throw that out there, it's because they have Duncan Robinson's contract, okay? And, Jay Crowder is supposedly wanting to go back home. I don't know if Jay Crowder is going to be the move. And I know Duncan Robinson contract's a negative. Nobody wants that. But they have picks, okay? The Heat still have their picks, and so they own their 2028 and they own their 2029. They also own the 2027. And they own their 2023 and their 2024. So the only picks they can't trade are the 2025 and 2026, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone down below. This is what I'm getting from Real GM on their pick status. So, I could be wrong. Tell me down below. So they have the picks to make the moves if they do want to go get somebody. They have salary that they can use to convince with, Duncan Robinson. And once, you get, I think through December, you can probably trade Martin, Victor Oladipo. So they have players that they can trade, and they also have young guys in Strus, Gabe Vincent, that teams could be interested in if they want to make a move for, a guy. Right now, I like the current roster. As I told you guys before, I think the starting lineup for this team, in previous videos, I've said this: Lowry. This is where I get it hard. Do you think Hero is going to start? I think they're going to run Hero as the 6th man still. So you're going to run Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo, of course. Now, the shooting guards, power forward positions are interesting. I think the best would be Kyle Lowry, Max Strus. And then you go either... I've been pitching that maybe you start this season off with Kyle Lowry, Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo. And then you have off the bench Gabe Vincent, Victor Oladipo, Caleb Martin, Omer Yurtseven as your 9-man rotation, and Dwayne Dedman as your 10-man rotation. Or you could see a lineup where they go I really think Jimmy's playing power forward this season, and Nikola Jovic and Caleb Martin will be backing up power forward with Bam Adebayo, Dwayne Dedmon, Omer Yurtseven being the center rotation, with Jimmy Butler, Caleb Martin, Nikola Jovic being the power forward rotation in my eyes. And then you have at small forward, I think it's going to have to be like Duncan Robinson, Max Strus, and maybe they even go a little small with Tyler Hero and Victor Oladipo sometimes playing the wing position. And with shooting guard, I think it's, Tyler Hero's the sixth man, and Strus will start just so they can have maybe Duncan Robinson and Strus out there, or Strus and Caleb Martin with, Jimmy Butler. Tell me what you think the starting lineup is. I just think Tyler Hero comes off the bench and you put out two shooters, either Strus and Duncan or Strus and Martin. So you have two shooters, then Butler at power forward, Adebayo at center, and Lowry at point. And you run Vincent as the backup point guard, Tyler Hero as the sixth man, Victor Oladipo probably like the seventh man. And that's why I think Marcus Garrett's a guy that, like, people, I'm telling you, don't be surprised if he comes in and he ends up, starting and looks impressive, because they need defense. They need defense. I don't know if I can preface how much they need that defense. And this is a team that I think has all the pieces to be good. And don't be surprised if Marcus Garrett or even Darius Days, who's a great player, and Darius Days is a guy who's in more of a position of need for them. But I just think Marcus Garrett's perimeter defense could really help them. But yeah, also that's because I'm a KU fan. I go to KU, so I'm biased. But yeah, this is totally a team that I think when you look at it big picture, it's a team that definitely could pose a threat to be the number one seed all over again. And I mean, time will tell what will happen and if that will actually come to fruition. But this is a team that I don't think people can take lightly. And I obviously think that because as long as, Pat Riley's there, Pat Riley's going to make sure everything's running A-okay, okay? Because Pat Riley's the Godfather. And the Godfather does what he wants, okay? So that's where I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. For me, I think they really need to go with Jimmy Butler at this power forward position to make up for the loss. And then you run at the wings, you're just going to have a bunch of shooters, and Gabe Vincent be backing up Kyle Lowry. I would love for them to go get a point guard. I mean, I don't know how you get it done, but Mike Conley would be cool. But I really wanted them to get John Wall or somebody out there in free agency. But it's definitely an interesting situation. Now I want to hear your guys' opinions down below on what do you guys think is going to be the lineup? Who's going to win the battles in training camp? And yeah, so hit the like button, do all that good jazz. I don't have anything more to say besides, I think, because you can't play Bam Adebayo at power forward and then go with Dwayne Dedmon. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do that and they go super big, but we'll find out.